Listen to the wind coming off the tarmac at Kadena Air Base. For 20 years, that wind has carried the scream of American air dominance. It has carried the sound of the F-22 Raptor. We were told that as long as an American pilot was sitting in that cockpit, pulling 9 Gs and owning the kinematic envelope, the sky was ours by divine right. But it is May 2026. The world of the ace is bleeding out. The U.S. Air Force's most dynamic fighters in operational service today were designed for an earlier strategic environment. The strategic geometry of the Pacific Theater doesn't care about your turn radius. It cares about range, survival, and the cold, unfeeling logic of algorithmic warfare. Today, on The Hidden Muster, we are performing a structural and philosophical autopsy on the greatest transition in military aviation history. We are going to look at the reigning king, the F-22 Raptor. Then we are going to look at the ghost that is replacing it, the Boeing F-47 Phoenix. Finally, we are going to pit them against each other to see what happens when human instinct collides with $20 billion of artificial intelligence. I'm James. Welcome to the muster. Let's start cutting. Let's be brutally fair to the king. The F-22 Raptor is the most beautiful expression of 20th century physics ever conceived. When the Advanced Tactical Fighter program entered its demonstration and validation phase back in 1986, the goal was simple: build an aircraft that could not be matched by any known or projected fighter. The prototype YF-22 took its first flight in late 1990, and the engineering and manufacturing development effort kicked off in 1991 with Lockheed and Boeing handling the airframe and Pratt & Whitney building the engines. What they created was a monster of kinematic supremacy. The forensic core of the Raptor is its propulsion system. It uses 2 Pratt & Whitney F119-PW100 turbofan engines, each producing thrust in the 35,000-pound class. But raw power isn't the magic. It is the two-dimensional thrust vectoring nozzles. Those serrated exhaust nozzles at the back can tilt up and down, allowing the Raptor to perform post-stall maneuvers that defy gravity. In a visual dogfight, the Raptor is a ballerina with a chainsaw. It can point its nose at an enemy even when its wings have completely stalled out. Furthermore, this combination of a sleek aerodynamic design and immense thrust allows the F-22 to cruise at supersonic air speeds greater than Mach 1.5 without even touching the afterburner, a characteristic known as supercruise. It is a Mach 2 class fighter with a ceiling above 50,000 feet. The Raptor is a multi-role fighter built to dominate the airspace before the enemy even knows they are being hunted. It possesses a sophisticated sensor suite and integrated avionics that allow the pilot to track, identify, shoot, and kill air-to-air threats before being detected. Inside its internal main weapon base, the Raptor can carry 6 AIM-120 radar-guided air-to-air missiles, accompanied by 2 AIM-9 infrared heat-seeking missiles in its internal side base. If it needs to conduct an air-to-ground mission, it can swap that loadout to carry 2 1,000-pound GBU-32 Joint Direct Attack munitions internally, alongside 2 AIM-120s and 2 AIM-9s. If it gets in close, it relies on a single M61A2 20mm cannon holding 480 rounds. But here is the forensic rot setting in as we sit here in 2026. The Raptor is an elite air superiority platform, but the fleet is small, aging, expensive to maintain, and fundamentally limited by its range. With 2 external wing fuel tanks, it has a ferry range of more than 1,850 miles, but in a combat scenario in the vast Indo-Pacific, that range is a crippling liability. Furthermore, its stealth was designed for an era of X-band radars. Its twin vertical tails are radar lighthouses for modern low-frequency detection systems. And ultimately, it suffers from the human tax. No matter how incredible the F-22 is, it's limited by the fragile, fluid-filled pilot sitting in the cockpit. The Raptor is an elite 1990s solution to a 2030 problem. The Air Force knows this, which is why the F-22 fleet is acting as a bridge directly into the era of the sixth-generation fighter.
Now we wipe the slab clean. Look at the new silhouette. In March 2025, Boeing won the highly secretive Next Generation Air Dominance contract. They were tasked with building the first U.S. sixth-generation fighter, designed specifically as the successor to the F-22 Raptor. A patch credited to the System Management Office confirmed its early design concept, giving it the potential name Phoenix. The F-47 Phoenix is not just a fast stealth jet, it is a strategic reset for the United States Air Force. Let's look at the raw specifications. The F-47 is intended to solve the exact problems that plague the Raptor. It is being built with a combat radius of more than 1,000 nautical miles, allowing it to penetrate deep into the Pacific theater without relying heavily on vulnerable aerial refueling tankers. It is designed to fly at a top speed above Mach 2. Air Force Chief of Staff General David Alvin confirmed in March 2025 that the F-47 will feature significantly longer range, more advanced stealth, and will be more sustainable and supportable than current fifth-generation fighters. It is projected to cost less than the F-22, require significantly less manpower to deploy, and will be acquired in larger numbers. The Air Force intends to purchase at least 185 examples of the F-47 to fully replace the aging Raptor fleet. Experimental X-planes proving out these technologies have reportedly been flying since 2020, and the first official flight of the F-47 is slated for 2028. The service aims to field the jet operationally by 2029 and into the 2030s. But what makes it a sixth-generation fighter? It isn't just about the airframe. The F-47 is an anchor for a broader family of advanced battle systems, incorporating extreme stealth, open architecture systems, and AI-enabled battle management. The most terrifying aspect of the Phoenix is its manned-unmanned teaming capabilities. It will operate alongside autonomous drone wingmen, specifically under the Collaborative Combat Aircraft program, utilizing drones like the YFQ-42A and YFQ-44A. The pilot in the F-47 is no longer just a dogfighter. They are a battlefield manager, directing a swarm of drones to absorb enemy fire, jam radars, and launch weapons. Furthermore, analysts have speculated that the F-47 may be capable of delivering the B-61 series of nuclear gravity bombs, elevating its role from a simple air superiority fighter to a strategic deterrent in the Western Pacific. The F-47 is a localized collapse of the electromagnetic spectrum. It doesn't fight the enemy. It deletes their ability to perceive reality. So, what happens when the king meets the ghost? What happens when you pit the kinematic perfection of the F-22 Raptor against the algorithmic unmanned dominance of the F-47 Phoenix? Let's construct the forensic simulation. In a close-range visual dogfight, the F-22 Raptor relies on its thrust vectoring and its human pilot's instinct. The Raptor wants to turn, burn, and use geometry to point its nose at the enemy. But the F-47 refuses to play that game. The F-47 is designed around open architecture systems and advanced sensors. It uses artificial intelligence to process the battlesphere.
While the human pilot in the Raptor is physically fighting the G-forces, bleeding energy to make a tight turn, the F-47's AI has already calculated the Raptor's trajectory. The F-47 doesn't need to outturn the Raptor, it just needs to be perfectly positioned to fire. The real battle happens 100 miles away. The F-22's stealth is incredible, but the F-47 features more advanced stealth designed specifically to counter modern air defense technology. If the F-22 turns on its radar, it announces its presence. The F-47, however, is a network hub. It doesn't need to radiate energy. It pushes its autonomous drone wingmen, the YFQ-42A and YFQ-44A, miles ahead of its own position. The Raptor pilot sees a threat on his screen and maneuvers to engage, thinking he has found the sixth-generation fighter. He dumps his IM-120s into the target, but he just killed a drone. The actual F-47 is sitting 20 miles off axis, completely silent, having used the drone to force the Raptor to reveal its exact coordinates. The Phoenix then fires its own payload, utilizing its superior sensor fusion and AI-driven targeting. The Raptor pilot never sees it coming. He's fighting a swarm, while the queen of the hive sits safely in the dark. Even if the Raptor could somehow survive the initial sensor war, it loses the logistics war. The F-47 boasts a combat radius exceeding 1,000 nautical miles. The F-22 relies heavily on its external drop tags and aerial refueling to cover vast distances. In a Pacific scenario, the Phoenix can strike the Raptor's home bases or loiter in the combat zone long after the Raptor is forced to return home for fuel. The autopsy is complete, and the results are cold. The Air Force launched an internal study to determine if the NGAE program was truly necessary, given its massive cost. Major General Joseph Kunkel stated bluntly that there was no more viable option than NGAD to achieve air superiority in highly contested environments. The F-22 Raptor is the greatest aircraft ever built for a war that no longer exists. It is a monument to human courage and aerodynamic perfection. But the Boeing F-47 Phoenix is not just a replacement. It is an algorithmic god that changes the very definition of air combat. By combining extreme stealth, a 1,000 nautical mile combat radius, speeds exceeding Mach 2, and a swarm of autonomous drone wingmen, the Phoenix has already won the war of tomorrow. The era of the ace is officially dead. The era of the system manager has arrived. This is James for the Hidden Muster. The sky is getting quieter. Keep your eyes on the horizon. We'll see you on the next Deep Dive.